and we create a schedule. So because we do that, all the chats during the meeting is captured automatically back in the channel. And yes, including the recordings. If you have a student na miss ang inyong virtual class, she or he can access the recordings of your class meeting as well as the lectures and conversation. You can add a tab in the general channel. Okay, para mas madali po nila yang mahanap. To get student feedback on the feature, you can use Poly or Microsoft Forms. You can also give a little quiz right after your discussion if you have still time, and you can consider it as a formative assessment. And finally, after your online meetings, if there are some students who are still commenting or still making comments in the conversation, you can mute them. This means students will no longer be able to see an inappropriate comment, and that the muted students can no longer post or reply in the conversation. How to do that? You just go to your teams, click on the manage team, and you will see here the name of your students. Okay, all you need to do is to click on mute. Okay, so you can always unmute the student kung sa tingin nyo is alam na niya na hindi na siya dapat mag-comment to that conversation. Right? Okay. So, once you and your students are more familiar with the use of Microsoft Teams, especially Teams call, you can increase your students' level of interactivity in a variety of ways. For example, create small groups. With the private channel feature in Microsoft Teams, you can create small groups for your class. In each private channels, the student can start a team calls, or they can work on a problem or discuss a question. If you still remember in our traditional class, right after our discussion, sometimes we group our students and then we give them a task to do or a question to reflect on, and then they will collaborate. So how are we going to do that in Microsoft Teams? Inside your Microsoft Teams, you can add a channel, but this time I'll be selecting, by the way, this general channel is default, no? When you create your teams. All students you added in this class, they will see all the conversation, all the files you uploaded, and the recordings na ginawa ninyo during your virtual call. But this time, I'll be creating a channel. So you click on the ellipsis again, and then add a channel. I'll be using group 1 as a channel name. Okay. So if you add a channel in here and then you just click add, it is similar to general. All contents ay makikita ng mga students, except for, of course, for the class notebook and assignment. But in this case, since it is a small group, you need to change standard to private. And then you click next. And then in here, you need to add manually the name of students you want to be in the group 1. Of course, this student should be added already in this class. Okay? So I'll just skip it. So you will see here the difference between the two channels. With the icon or with the lock icon, it means to say that it is a private one. Right? So just like in a traditional class, would you like to go to one class to listen to their discussion? You can do that by joining their call, or maybe just checking in what questions or needs each group has. Number 2 is assign Kahoot challenges. Right? So may I know if you are using Kahoot challenges already in your class? During na tayo ay nasa normal class pa po, you can raise your hand. You can use the feature raise hand. Right? So do you know that you can also use this with Teams integration. You can share the Kahoot challenge to groups as homework or maybe during your call. Kasi in Kahoot Challenge, no, we know that they can receive notification immediately about if their answer is correct, no? So you can offer immediate feedback. Now, can we add Kahoot in Microsoft Teams? Yes, we can always do that. So in here, for example, dito tayo sa General tab, you can click Add an application, and then you see here, this will display all the applications available in your tenant. So you can use them, you can add them to your tabs. For example, Kahoot. So there you are, Kahoot. You just have to add it, and then enter your username and password, of course, no? Para makita ng mga students ninyo yung inyong ipe-present kapag mag-start na kayong mag-Kahoot games. Right. And the last one is, have you heard about Peer Deck? Make learning active with Peer Deck. Use the Peer Deck add-in for PowerPoint so that you can transform your static PowerPoint presentation to engaging classroom conversation. Use Peer Deck's integration with Teams to make your integration seamless. So there are sites that will offer you tutorial about how to use Peer Deck. Okay? So you can also add that in your Teams. You can also add that. Nandiyan din po si Peer Deck. There you are, the Peer Deck. Okay? Or you can add that in your Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. Now, before we proceed with synchronous learning or session, let me give you some class management tips. So some of this already discussed in the previous slide, like you need to turn off your camera so that the bandwidth will not be affected. Make them attend the student, no? Or you can just mute them all. And maybe what's here is strongly encourage your students to consider sitting at a table para hindi po sila mangawit. And then make sure to have few longer breaks kapag more than 1 hour ang ating lesson with them. So we can encourage them to stand up, do some stretching, and maybe move around a bit. And then don't forget, when over, stay on the call until all students hang up. Or you can just do the stop recording and the end recording after you download the participants' attendance. Right? So that's all for the session 1. We now proceed with the session 2 of our remote learning, keeping students engaged, building strong student-teacher connections in a remote learning environment. But before we proceed, do you have any question you'd like to ask? So remote learning will be more on demonstration about the use of class notebook and assignments.
So is there anything from the group that you want to clarify or maybe to repeat in case you did not get it the first time Miss Emel showed it? Ayan. Miss Emel, sabi rin ni Miss Tin kanina, they're using Kahoot also even before.
Wow. Yes.
Okay. So I guess we can dive into the second session.
Okay.
All right.
So I will not switch from my PowerPoint to desktop, no, para po madali ako mag-switch from my demonstration and to this slide. Okay. So when students are using a mobile device, and of course some of you are using it right now, you need to download the Teams app. Within the Teams app, they can still join team calls, chat or call a teacher or their classmate. They can also view conversation or announcement in the post tab, uploaded files, and other tabs you added to the team. Within the Files tab, they can view Word documents, PowerPoint, and Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so I can demo that later. Recording lessons will arise in 2 different ways. Recording team call as they occur, as discussed in the previous module, and recording pre-recorded lessons for students to watch asynchronously. When you want to record a lesson for students to watch asynchronously, you have number of options for on how you can do this. Number one, you can use a Teams call. You can start a call and hold it by yourself. We call that solo call. No? Walang students, you did not schedule a meeting, but you just need to click on Meet Now and then record your discussion. So you can start recording and then talk, share your desktop, discuss a website, or maybe you open a browser and let them view an online museum. You can also use a PowerPoint to present your lessons. What else? You can also use your OneNote to ink and Microsoft document, no, to demonstrate finding the solution to a problem or any other file on your computer. When you are finished, the recorded call will appear in your post tab, just like the Teams call you have with your meetings. Next is the use of your camera app on your computer or your phone. The video feature in your camera app is great for recording yourself reading a book to your students, or maybe conducting an experiment, or explaining characterization in a short story or novel, or any other discussion you feel the video camera can capture. Now, number three is the use of PowerPoint Recorder. If you have installed PowerPoint for Office 365 on your desktop, or you have Office 2019, you can use PowerPoint Recorder to turn your PowerPoints into video lessons. It is a self-running slideshow. If you have sound card, microphone, speakers, and optionally a webcam, you can record your PowerPoint presentation and capture the narration, slide timings, and ink gestures. Okay, so actually after you have made the recording, it's like any other presentation that can be played for your audience. You can even save the presentation as a video file. Okay, let us try that. So, try ko po dito sa mismong slide natin. So, to get ready to record, select slideshow, then record slideshow. Clicking the upper half of the button starts you on the current slide. Clicking on the lower half of the button starts from the beginning or from the beginning po ito. So, ito yung current natin. Okay. So the slideshow opens in the recording window, which looks like parang presenter view. Okay, so i-try po natin from the current. Now, you can click the round button, the round red button, or you can press letter R in your keyboard. When you are ready to start the recording, you will see here a 3-second countdown. Alright, so you can pick a pointer tool like the pen, eraser, or the highlighter from the array of tools just below the current slide. There are also color selection boxes for changing the color of the ink. For example, I am discussing the options for recording asynchronous lessons, and currently I am demonstrating the use of the PowerPoint recorder. When you switch from one slide to another, you can still continue with your PowerPoint slideshow. Now to stop, just click on this button. And it is now embedded in your slide that you can play while discussing your, in place of yourself discussing the slides. Okay, so let me play it. Ako po ginagawa ko to kapag I have like two subjects, the same subjects with two different class. No, instead of repeating, sometimes kasi di po ba hindi parehas yung naging discussion natin, meron tayong nakalimutan. So to make sure na we discuss the topic the same, we can record the discussion for that specific topic only. Okay, so let me try to play it. All right, so you can pick a pointer tool like the pen, eraser, or the highlighter from the array of tools just below the current slide. There are also color selection boxes for changing the color of the ink. For example, I am discussing the options for recording asynchronous lessons, And currently, I am demonstrating the use of the PowerPoint recorder. Okay, so kusa po siyang mag-start doon sa slide na yon. When you go to another slide, andyan po yung continuation. When you switch from one slide to another, you can still continue with your PowerPoint slideshow. Now, to stop, ayan po. Okay, so that's how you can use slideshow record. Slideshow. How about, save ko na po ito. You can still save it, no? Pwede niyo pong i-save itong PowerPoint na kasama yan. Now, how about number 4? So, you see, kasama pong nasisave yung mga annotations na ginagawa natin in the slide. Number 4 is the use of screen recorder in PowerPoint. If you don't have the 2019 or hindi pa po natin na-install si Office 365, the screen recorder in PowerPoint can be used to record your screen. You can show and record your screen like a PowerPoint, a website, or anything else you want to share and discuss in your recording. And then it will be embedded in your PowerPoint slide, or you can save it as a separate file. So let me demo this one. So all you need to do is to go to Insert and then select Screen Recording. Now you will see a cross-haired cursor as you select the area of the screen you want to be included in your recording. Okay? And then before you click on the record, make sure na dun muna po kayo pumunta sa inyong PowerPoint kung saan kayo magsisimulang mag-record. Or for example, you would like to demo using Microsoft Word, so you need to select Microsoft Word before you click on the record. Okay? So let me start it by clicking this button. Likewise, if you're going to end the screen recording, you just move your mouse up and then this will appear on your screen. Okay? I'm going to demonstrate on how to use this screen recording to save this image as a separate file. To do that, just click on the image, right-click, select Save as Picture. Then choose the folder or the location you want to save the image. Then type the file name. All right. So I can also switch from my PowerPoint to a browser. Everything is being recorded. So to stop, just click on the mouse up and click Stop. Okay, and this is now embedded in this slide. So you can enter and then you insert a blank slide and then maybe you can copy and paste. So this is a video. You can play it. I'm going to demonstrate on how to use this screen recording to save this image as a separate file. To do that, just click on the image. Okay. So, i-forward po natin na para makita natin yung changing from one screen to another. From my PowerPoint to a browser. Ayan. So that's the difference between the use of screen recording and record slideshow. Sa record slideshow, nakafocus lang po kayo sa PowerPoint. Pero dito sa screen recording, it records all the movement of the mouse, switching from one window to another, and also your audio. Okay, and what's good with this is you can also save this as a separate file, save media as, that you can upload to your OneDrive or to your Microsoft Streams for your students to separately view aside from the PowerPoint. Okay, just click on the, type on the file name and click Save. All right. Now the last one is, I think the use of the Microsoft Stream. This one, the screen recorder using Microsoft Stream. In your Office 365 dashboard, okay? So once you receive your Office 365 account, you have access to all of these applications. Not only the desktop versions, but also the applications that you can use online. Okay, so all you need to do is to click on this Microsoft Stream. I have clicked it earlier already, and there you are. So you can create your own folder. Actually, a folder is created for you, and then you just have to select a channel for your teams para you can copy the link. If you would like to create a screen recording, an equivalent to PowerPoint, but this time it will be automatically uploaded, select record screen. So parang PowerPoint presentation din po siya, kaya lang dito diretso na po siya na mag-upload sa inyong Microsoft Stream. Right? And then, yan, magsasama-sama po dito yan sa baba. You can organize your videos by folders, by group. No? You can also customize kung sino po ang makakakita ng mga files na i-upload nyo sa inyong Microsoft Stream. So, it is included in your Office 365 account. All right. So, when you are finished with the recording, you will be tempted to edit it. Do your best to resist the temptation. You cannot expect perfection. Perfection is an illusion, sabi po nila. So, do your best to accept less than perfect. If you presented the material clearly, the audio was clear, and the information you shared was visible, celebrate a job well done and upload your video to Microsoft Stream so that you can share that to your students. You may, however, realize after watching your video that you forgot something. So, instead of recreating the entire video, you can record the information you left out and then add it to your other video to make one video. If you are using Windows 10 operating system, meron tayong application dyan called Video Editor. So, it is very easy to use. You can merge more than 2 videos into one, okay, using this application. All right. So, let us now create our virtual office hours or homeroom class. Usually po, pagka sa elementary and high school, senior high school, meron tayong mga advisory, di po ba? So, in our traditional class, I don't know kung everyday ba kayong nagmi-meet with your students. Now, if that's a practice and you want to maintain it, na you want yourself to become available for your students, you can set your virtual homeroom class. No? Ito po yung parang may schedule siya like every 4 to 5 every day. Okay? So, let me demo that. All you need to do is I'm going to create here a channel for my homeroom. Standard, so meaning to say all students in this class can attend this homeroom or can see the content. Okay? So, yung purpose po kung bakit tayo nag-create ng more than one channel is so that we can separate maybe not necessarily topics, pero yung concerns. Okay? Kasi po para hindi masyadong dadami yung post mo dito sa general. So, if it is about your homeroom class, they know na dito sila pupunta. Okay? So, how to do that? There are 2 ways po. Using this or using your calendar. A while ago, nag-demo po ako using this one. For now, I'll be using calendar. Okay? And then, say for example, your homeroom class will start on October 12, 3 p.m. Okay, so all you need to do is to select on the date and then the time. And then you are now in the details for your virtual class, virtual homeroom class. And then you want them to happen every day. No? So all you need to do is to select on this one. If it is daily, just select daily. Okay, so that will be 3 to 4. All right. Now you can also put some details in here, maybe like be ready with the question you want to ask, o kaya topics about your homeroom class. No? So lagay nyo lang po dyan. Now, if you are using an existing LMS, for example, and you only want you to use Microsoft Teams for your Teams call, for your virtual call, online class, or homeroom class, all you need to do is to create a link. No? Kailangan po makapag-create kayo ng link dito. Since wala pa akong na-add na student, I think meron ako na-add si Fatima. Okay, I need to do this po kasi so that I can copy the link. Okay, so I'll just click send here. Maybe a question like, ano kung wala akong student doon? How can I copy? You can still do that pala. Okay, all you need to do is to open that schedule. Okay, open niyo po yung schedule na yan. Okay, ayan. Nakita niyo po ito, join Microsoft Teams meeting. Okay? So all you need to do is to copy the link. Copy nyo lang po yung link. And then you paste it into your LMS. Okay? Para po maipakita ko lang yung example kung paano ba, ano yung mag-a-appear no? Pag kinopy nyo yung link into your LMS. Pero dito ko na lang siya ipopost sa loob ng Teams. Let us consider this is your LMS and you want to share the link. So I'll be having an announcement. Okay? So gagamitin ko po itong option na A to format my new conversation into announcement. Then type ko po dito, virtual homeroom class schedule. Okay, remember we copy the link. All right? So all you need to do is to, in your LMS, you find for the address you want to paste the URL. And then I'll just type here join. Insert. I can, using Microsoft Teams, I can also share like different graphics to background my announcement. Okay, I can mark it also as important inside Microsoft Teams. But there you are. So that's how you copy the link to make a virtual call. And then after that, if you paste that in your existing LMS, they will be directed to Microsoft Teams. If they are using if they are using desktop or laptop, they don't need to download. They can use the browser. Pero kung mobile, kailangan po i-download nila ang Microsoft Teams. Alright? So, yan. So, you see in the calendar, naka-series po ang inyong schedule. Since we selected daily, ang mag-a-appear po dito ay daily. Yan. Now, if you want to end this, you just have to edit the end of the occurrence or you just delete. Pwede naman po na i-delete nyo na lang kapag tapos na kayo dito sa inyong schedule. Right? Okay. Medyo mabilis po ba?
Hi everyone, if you think that the session is going so too fast, you can just let us know, raise your hand, or ask us questions along the way, okay?
Apo. Anyway, it is being recorded. So lahat po ng actions na ginagawa ko dito, switching from one screen to another, it is being recorded. Okay, so kung wala po tayong question, we proceed with this one. So one of the most challenging aspects of our remote learning environment is assessment. No? So alam po natin lahat yan. How do you assess your students' understanding of a unit when you cannot watch them while they take the test? So formative assessment can proceed as usual. If you are using Microsoft Forms for your quiz or your first grading examination, you can also use the entrance and exit ticket. Para pong ito yung, before we discuss, we ask our questions about the topic, we have class meeting. So we can have an entrance, parang entrance form na ang type of questions is more on formative lang. Or maybe after our discussion, we can have an exit ticket questions. Other formative assessment within teams include the threaded discussions in the post tabs of the teams. Okay, so pakita ko lang po dito sa teams natin. So when you are in a call, after that call, ito po, yung post tab. Lahat ng conversation dito, you can also use that as a formative one. For example, parang kung kayo ay nagre-registration but you are not in an online class, they can reply to your question. When you post a question in the conversation, if for example, question number 1, they can reply. Okay, so dito po, they can reply. Naka-threaded po yan unless you start a new conversation. So your student can just reply by clicking this button. So maiipon po lahat ng conversation niya dyan. Also, you can also use your OneNote or Microsoft Word for documenting their understanding. Aside from that, the questions they raised during your Teams call or the discussions in the meeting chat. Summative assessment will most certainly have to change during the remote learning. In place of the objective test, the students can demonstrate their understanding by recording themselves teaching a concept, solving an equation, explaining a process using their camera or maybe yung PowerPoint recorder na ginawa natin kanina or the screen recording. So parang best po siya to measure their understanding kasi it's more on hindi siya yung objective na true or false, identification type, multiple choices, no? Or responding to a short answer, parang essay type. Maybe they can use Flipgrid. If you are using Flipgrid in your class, it is a great way to measure their summative, to have a summative assessment using Flipgrid. You pose a question and then you give them like 2 to 5 minutes to answer. It requires video, of course, video camera, and audio. Okay? Now, yeah, so nandito na po tayo sa OneNote class notebook. If you are new to Microsoft Teams, you may be unsure of the role OneNote class notebook plays in your remote learning environment. While Microsoft Teams is your digital hub, OneNote is your digital three-ring binder. The OneNote class notebook has a content library for sharing contents and resources with your students, collaboration space where everyone in the class can work together. Parang ito yung whiteboard or blackboard natin sa classroom. And the student sections where the student can complete their individual work and the teachers can share feedback. Okay, so let me demonstrate how to use your class notebook. Okay, so the first time you create your class team, your class notebook is in the General tab. If you are using LMS, I'm sure you have already uploaded and created your modules and your lessons, right? So in here, we do that inside class notebook. The first time you create, you need to set it up. And it's very easy. Just click on set up one class notebook. If you know your way around OneNote, you are using OneNote already, you can start with a blank. If not, select from existing notebook. So you see these are the three-ring binder. The students can see collaboration space, content library, and the student sections. The teacher-only section, you can only edit the content, and the students cannot view the content. Okay, so dito po yung binabanggit ko kanina na I'm sure you have uploaded all of your lessons in your LMS. So, but then, when we upload our lessons, our modules, we set a specific date. No? We filter kailan ito mag-a-appear when the student log in to their LMS. Like lesson 1, 2, 3 will appear starting October 5, and then lesson 4 will appear starting October 12. Just like that. In Microsoft Teams, there's no filtering. You just have to upload all your files in the teacher only. And later on, I'll teach you how to distribute the content to the content library where every student can view, or to their specific notebook. Their specific notebook has different sections: handouts, class notes, homework, quizzes. Okay? Ang isang student can see their handout by themselves only. Hindi ito makikita ng kanilang classmates. Ang makakakita lang ng student section notebook is the teacher and the student itself. Okay, so let's create. Now, while we are waiting for your class notebook to get ready, let me demo it using the algebra themes. Okay? Let me open my class notebook. If you are using OneNote, you can manage your class notebook. You can upload contents using a browser. You open your Office 365 account, and then you go to OneNote, and you will see there the class notebook for your class separately. Right? So to open your class notebook menu, click on the navigation panel. Open the navigation panel. There you are. Oh, parang ang dami-dami nito ah. Tatlo lang po yung sinabi ni Miss Emel, bakit ang dami? So, ito po yung collaboration space, content library, and the names of your students. Yan. Kaya po mukhang madami kasi po ito yung notebook ng mga bata. We don't have now the chance to ask our students to submit their notebooks. Kasi ang notebook nila ngayon ay digital na. So, when you open the notebook of Adele, there are how many sections in here? Aside from the default 4, we also have here PTA, maybe for if we are handling elementary pupils. So, meron tayong section for parents communication, the Parents Teachers Association yata ang ibig sabihin yan. And then, meron diyang added na section for Module 1. Okay, you can always add additional section before you begin with your class notebook. Pero kung nasimulan nyo na siya, natapos na, you can still add more section in here by clicking the class notebook and using this button, distribute new section. Okay, so blank lang po yan, pero mag-a-add siya ng additional section inside the student's notebook. Okay, but that will be more on advanced lesson about class notebook. So I'll be demonstrating yung simple lang. Paano mag-add ng lesson sa teacher only. Okay? So let me open the teacher only. Remember, all contents in here, the students cannot see. Okay, so therefore, tayo lang po ang makakakita ng laman, tayo lang din ang mag-edit. Alright. So inside the teachers only, it is separated by 2 section, pages. One section consists of pages. Okay, so in this example, Module 1, I have Lesson 1 and Lesson 2, and a page for an exercises. Okay, so let me start my demo with adding another module. So for example, Module 3. So while you are inside the teacher only, click on the section. Okay, you should be inside this. No? Kasi pag nasa labas, pag nandito tayo at nag-add section, dito po yun mag-add. Yan, dito sa main menu. Right? So go to teacher, select any section, and click class section. Okay? Type your module 3 plus the title of that module. You can always rename the title by rename. Okay? So the first thing to do after you create a section is to add the page, or maybe this is your lesson. Right? Dito lang po tayo. For example, lesson 7, continuation of module 1 and 2. So to start adding your lesson for this, just click on any of the white space. Don't worry, it's very easy kung sanay po tayong gumamit ng Microsoft Word para po tayong nasa Microsoft Word. But actually, it is the user interface of OneNote. Okay, so you have there changing the font size, formatting using bold, italics, underline, highlighting, changes the color. You have there the bullets, numbering, all the formattings of the paragraphs. Okay, na kailangan ninyo, nandiyan po yan. And also, you can insert a picture. Kung yung lesson nyo ay may picture, you can do that. You can also insert a link na pag inopen ng mga bata, they just need to follow the link and they will be diverted to maybe a link with a video presentation. Okay? If you are a math teacher, you have here math symbols, very easy to use. Okay? You can easily convert your equation, and you can actually make a summary of your math equation with answer using the Microsoft Forms if you're going to include it. Okay? Now, meron na po akong mga lesson na ginawa pero nasa Microsoft Word. You can attach. Insert attachment, and then just choose from your folder. Hanapin nyo lang kung nasan yun. If it is a Microsoft PowerPoint, if it is a Microsoft Word, or simply Excel file, no, pwede nyo pong gawin yan. You can insert the file. Yung mismong file po, yung mai-insert nyo dyan. Alright. Okay, so type lang po ako dito ng any text. Okay? So now, so that's how you create a section. Now, to add more pages, this time you click Add Page. So, Lesson 8. And then to start adding content, just click on the white space of your Lesson 8 page. Right? Okay, so that's how you create content to teacher-only section. Now, it's time for us to copy the content, no, or to let the students see our lessons. Okay, let me open my content library here. Tingnan natin kung ano na po ba yung laman niya. So in the content library, I have, of course, the welcome note and some tips on how to use the content library. And then the module 1. Okay, so merong lesson 1 pa lang. Wala pa yung lesson 2. Now, I want my students to have a look or magkaroon sila ng advanced reading about lesson 2 na nasa teacher only ko pa lang. You don't need to like select all, control C, copy and paste. No? Hindi po ganun ang gagawin natin. So all you need to do is to open your module 1 and then right click on lesson 2, copy. Saan natin dadalhin? Sa content library inside module 1. Okay, now it is selected already, just click copy. And you have a notification here that lesson 2 is already copied. Okay, so let us check. So the students can now see here. So kung yung students natin nakalagin, immediately makikita nila na nandyan na yung lesson 1 at saka yung lesson 2. All students can see collaboration space and content library, remember? So makikita na po nila agad yan. Now, there are times that we need to give special attention to some students, lalo na kung medyo naiiwan po siya. And then we want to give additional example or explanation about the topic or sometimes maybe a tip. No? Tapos sa kanya lang natin gustong ibigay. Okay? Or a group of students, pwedeng more than one. Okay? Basta ito ay parang selected lang. Now, to do that, let me check my class notes. Alin kaya dito ang aking gustong ibigay sa kanya? Okay, maybe this one, problem solving tips. I want to give this to a specific student. Or of course, you can give it to everyone. Pero i-demo ko lang po yung specific student. Right? So to do that, this one. You go to class notebook again, and then in this tab, you select individual distribution. Okay? And so kung ano po yung na-select, yun yung i-distribute natin sa student. Now, hanapin nyo lang yung bata. Say for example, si Ashley. Okay? If you think more than Ashley, kailangan pa rin may iba, just select their names. And then click next. Okay, the question. Saang part ng notebook niya mo gustong ipadala itong problem solving tips? Is it in the class notes, handouts, homework, module 1, PTA, quizzes? So saan mo siya gustong dalhin? Okay, for example, dito na lang sa loob ng, remember yung file name po natin, the name of the page is One Problem Solving Tips. Kasi this pages might already existing. No? Kasi po, this is a demo account of Microsoft. So I don't know if those files are already existing. So I just rename it by placing 1. Okay, so let me put that inside class note. Distribute. Okay, so pages will continue distributing while you work, or you can close the application. Okay, so pwede po daw po tayong mag-work around, and then we will be notified. Okay, there you are. So mabilis lang naman din po yan. Now let us check the notebook of Ashley. Oh, by the way, check natin si Alex. Kasi hindi natin na-check kanina. Baka naman nasa notebook na pala nila talaga yon. So, class notes, ang nahan dyan po. Okay, ayan. Yan yung nasa class notes nila. So, pare-parehas po sila. Now, let us check Ashley. And then, class notes. Okay, ayun po. One problem solving tip. So, siya lang yung nakatanggap. Alright? So, that's individual. Now, when you look at the quizzes, you make a quiz, you provide a quiz, and then you distribute it using class notebook. Pwede rin po yan. And then, kung yung question nyo is kailangan nilang isulat talaga sa papel with problem solving, all they need to do is to take a picture of that. Okay? Picturean lang nila, and then upload nila dito. So, meaning to say, ito ay in-upload na ng bata, yung sagot niya in-upload. And then, you see the red note here, yan na po yung inyong notes. If you are using a tablet, you can use this. Parang touch screen. Now, if you are handling pupils, when checking their notebook, you can also insert some stickers to brighten up their day. Meron dito, just, ayan, well done, nice work, parang mga ganyan. Okay, so you can always insert emojis also or stickers. Okay, so you can also customize. No? You can customize the description of your stickers. Okay? Yan. Yan na po siya. Well done. So, pag nag-login si student, makikita niya yung grade niya, 91, some of your comments, and your sticker. Okay? Now, so I have already demonstrated how to transfer the file from the content only. But how about transferring a quiz? Okay, so tulad nito. Meron akong quiz na ginawa sa Module 1. Let's practice natin. Where is that? Ayun, Module 1, let's practice. Okay, so ide-demo ko po siya in assignments tab. But before I proceed there, do you have any question regarding the use of the class notebook? Okay, kung wala po. Okay,
wala naman.
Yes.
Wala naman naka-type sa chat box natin, Miss Imel.
Sige po. Basta meron kayong question, yung gusto nyo linawin, you can always ask me. Okay, so let me open my assignment now. While loading, tignan nga natin kung ang notebook ni UNS 12A ay nakaset up na. Okay. Yan, nakaset up na po siya. Ready na siyang mag-accept ng contents. Alright, so yan. Okay, so meron na 2 students at blanco ang kanilang notebook. Wala pang laman. Diba? Okay, so madali lang po siyang i-manage. Sa simula lang medyo nakakalito. Alright, so we proceed now with the discussion of creating a quiz and assignment. Okay, so unahin po natin si quiz. Okay, so yung source of quiz natin, it could be from our teachers only. Kasi nga as advised by our heads, kailangan lahat ng materials natin naka-upload na. Okay, so using a quiz, okay, by the way, ang quiz kasi sa form siya talaga manggagaling. So, a quiz in a form of assignment. If the resource materials will be coming from the teachers only, ang kailangan po natin gamitin is yung assignment tab. Okay? So, let's put a name, for example, Module 1 Practice. Okay. And then, you can also put some instructions in here. No? Just like in a normal class, bibigay tayong instruction for every assignment. Now, we click Add Resources. And let me get the practice set in my class notebook, Teacher Only section. Kasi hindi po nila nakikita yung laman. Okay, Teacher Only. In Module 1. Okay, so ayun po. Module 1, let's practice. And then attach. Okay, so saan natin dadalhin? Saang part ng notebook nila? Of course, if it is a quiz, sa loob ng quiz. If it is parang exercise, homework, assignment, dito ba natin lalagay? Pero sabi natin, quiz siya sa loob ng team, teachers only. From the teachers only section. Okay, there you are. So naka-assign na po siya and the students edit their own copy. So doon po sila mismo magsasagot sa loob ng class notebook nila. At ang makakakita lang doon ay sila lang po. Okay? And then all you need to do is to click on assign. Now, if this assignment or quiz requires you to add a resources, a rubric, you can add one. Okay? So later I will demo that. So i-assign muna po natin yun. Right? So again, I'll be clicking create again and then assignment again. Pero yung assignment natin, wala naman sa teachers only pero nasa computer. Okay, so we can use add resources again, but this time, upload from this device. Okay, there are many things to learn when creating your assignment that you can use, for example, from your from a link, no? From your OneDrive, or you would like to create a new one based on this type. No? Marami po yan. So uploading from this device, I'll just look for this document. When I click open, it will be automatically uploaded. Kung may picture po yung document, babaan lang ang resolution para mabilis siyang ma-upload. Yan, tulad po niyan. Done. Okay, ayan, nakita niyo po ito. Nag-receive na ng notification na nag-post na tayo ng quiz or assignment. So, the students will be notified. Okay, so again, you can put instructions. All right. So in here, you see, students can edit. Kasi yung content natin galing sa file. Why? By default, can't edit po ito kasi sometimes when we add resources, the purpose is we just want to add a supporting document bago nila masagutan yung assignment. Diba? Okay, but then you can change it to students edit. So, pwede na nilang i-edit ang content niyan. Okay? And then you can add rubric. You can create your own. Okay, so ito po created to. You can just use this one. Yan po yung itsura niyan. Okay. Equally divided ang score, but you can always customize it. There are 4 criteria. You just have to click attach. Okay. Or if you would like to create a new one, you can just select new rubric. Then ita-type nyo na lang po. Pag nag-create kayo, automatically this will be included into your rubrics library. And don't forget, when you create a new one, you need to click this. No? Kailangan po natin i-click ang yes para magamit nyo yung rubric. But this assignment doesn't require a rubric dahil siya po ay merong questions like kailangan, hindi siya parang essay type. No? Objective po siya. Right? And lastly, don't forget to change the edit, the date options. There are 3 to set up. If this assignment or if this quiz is meant to be given today, this time, huwag nyo na po itong galawin. Pero kung bukas nyo pa ito ibibigay, you need to check it. Okay, para bukas pa po mag-a-appear sa kanilang interface. Now, clicking the close date will not allow the students to submit late turn-ins. No? Kapag sinabi nyo ang submission is like, for example, October 3, after October 3, 11:59 at chinek nyo to, hindi na sila makakapag-turn-in. Just like in a normal LMS na meron tayong filtering for late turn-ins. Right? So when done with the timeline for your assignment, just click Assign. And the students will be notified that you have created an assignment and also a quiz. Okay, so saan po nila makikita yan? Dito po sa notification activity icons. Okay, and also dito rin po sa post tab, makikita din po nila dyan that you have created Module 1 practice, and later on po, we will be notified that you have created your assignment. Yes. Right? Okay, so that's one way of giving assessment. The other one is using Microsoft Forms. I'm sure you are very familiar with the use of Microsoft Forms. No? So you create your quizzes, your examination in here. Now the difference between the two, if you give the link, if you copy the link, no? For example, you open this one, open this, and you share it with your students by copying the link. Of course, you can set the different settings in here. No? So when you share the link and they answer it in this browser, they can still open another browser to open their LMS and to see their lessons. No? Pwede silang tumingin sa mga notes nila. And then the responses will be in an Excel file that you can download. In Microsoft Teams, all of your assignments, all of your quizzes, the grades for that will be summarized in this tab, wherein you can download an Excel file for all. You don't, unlike in this, one form, one quiz, one exam, one Excel file. In here, nakasummarize po yan. That you can download in Excel, using Excel. Let's try. No? Although wala pa pong score to, but if the students will submit their work, you will see here the scores. No? The scores. Okay. Let me open it. Okay, so while opening.
Miss Imel.
Yes.
Ang question ni Miss Tin, can it be automatically checked by the computer daw?
Yes.
And then,
Apo.
so that they will know the scores right away.
Yes. Okay. Ganito po yan. So when you create your, click ko lang po yung forms ulit. Kasi automatic na po siya eh. So when you create a new quiz, say quiz 2, add new choices. Kunwari po, ito yung question number 1 mo. No? Example lang po, no? Hindi na ako maglalagay ng question. Then your options here are like, say for example, this is a true or false. So nilagay mo dyan, true, actually nagsasuggest na siya, true or false. Sasabihin mo po kung alin ang tama. Tapos kung ano ang score niya. Say for example, 1 and required. So when the student answer this form, at sinagot niya false, so of course 0 ang score. Pero kung true, since in-identify mo na that this is the correct answer. Just like, ganoon din po kapag ito ay identification, so you can provide the answer. So, for example, the answer is computer. And then kung ang sagot niya is computer, magkakaroon po ulit ang score yan. So, automatic graded. And it is automatically being saved. Nakasave na po agad yan sa inyong account. Dito sa inyong account. When you open your Microsoft Forms, included na yung quiz 2 na na-create ninyo. Hanggat hindi nyo po yan na ibibigay, you can still edit. You can still add more question by opening this. So that's why, when you assign the quiz, o pwede ring assignment na dito nyo rin ginawa, when you assign it, automatically na machi-check na po yan. Automatic machi-check. Okay, so magbigay ako ng example na ginawa dito, pero sa Teams nyo ibibigay. Again, ang purpose ko po nito ganito. Sa klase ko, ganito po yung ginagawa ko. No? I am inside the Microsoft Teams. Okay, hindi ko lang maipakita yung aking lang po. Hindi ko maipakita eh. Na-close ko po kanina. Anyway, consider that I am a desktop version. So, naka-full screen po kayo. Pag dito sila magkuquiz sa loob niyan, hindi na nila kailangan mag-open ng browser. Okay? So, I'm sorry no, hindi ko lang maipakita yung desktop version ko para maipakita ko sana dito. So, ganito po yan. Okay? You open your assignment tab and then create quiz. Okay. So, you see, maglo-load po ang Microsoft Forms dito. Yung mga ginawa ninyo, kahit po naka-close yan, kahit yan naka-close, nandyan pa rin sila when you open it. Create quiz. Alright. So just select quiz 1. This quiz 1 contain 5 questions, 3 points each. Kasi parang solving problem po siya, equation. So you see here, 15 points. Kaya pag ang bata po ay nag-answer using this interface sa loob ng Microsoft Forms, may automatic scores na rin po yun. You can actually change it kung ayaw nyo makita nila yung score nila. Di po, doon sa Microsoft Forms, meron yung settings na do not show results. No? Do not show automatic results. Pwede naman po yun. Okay? So again, yung settings po dito is just like creating your assignment na pwede kayong mag-edit ng due date, kailan kayo magpapa-quiz. Kasi ito po pagka hindi nyo assign, lilito na agad na may quiz. Maaaring may bata na magsagot na agad. Okay. So yun po yung purpose niya. Okay? So of course, kailangan naka-close date para lahat ng absent na makakapag-quiz. Makapagbibigay na lang tayo ng special quiz. Now, if you desire to distribute your assignment or your quiz, your homework to more than one class, okay, to more than one class, so you have like Algebra 1A, Algebra 1B, pwede nyo pong gawin yun by clicking this. I-type nyo lang po yung other class ninyo na pagbibigayan nyo ng the same assignment or quiz. Okay, you don't need to give it one by one. Right? You can also specify specific student. Special quiz sa algebra. Okay, pwede nyo pong specify dito yun. Hindi po siya naka-class. Right? Okay, so there you are. So, andyan na po yung quiz. Included na siya. And when you click grade, it is also included. Pag dinownload nyo siya, kasama na po yun. Okay, medyo marami na po kasi. Ayan, quiz 1. Okay? Parang hindi yan yun. Ito po sa dulo. Alright. Okay? So that's how we use our class notebook, assignments, and how to view the grades of the students. Now, yes.
Question lang ni Sir Ruel, if they can put some time limit for the quiz.
Yes, of course, of course.
But the time limit is not per item, di ba? It's more of for the entire quiz.
Per item. The entire po siya. You can do that inside the Microsoft Forms or inside the assignment given. Open po natin yung quiz, this one. And then edit. Dito po. Yung time. So for example, kung ibibigay nyo siya, this is assignment. Okay. So, due date, ito po. So, kung mag-start yung quiz nyo ng say 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. Lagyan nyo lang po dito, close date, say 11:30. Yan, ganyan po. Yan po yung limit niya. Kaya lang hindi siya per item. Ganda. So, kung mayroong student na dumating at nag-login ng around 11:15, meron na lang po siyang 15 minutes to answer the quiz. Right? So, automatically po, mag-close yung link para sila makapag-quiz inside Microsoft Teams. At ang maganda nga po dito, naka-maximize ang screen nyo, parang ganito. Parang ganyan po. Diyan sila mismo nagku-quiz at habang naka-on ang inyong mga camera, nakikita nyo sila habang nagsasagot. Alright? Any other more question?
Okay. How about for essay type or constructed responses? Is there a feature that will also be checked automatically, and how? Can you teach us?
Hindi po. Okay. So pagka po ito ay mga subjective type of exam like essay or tapos ang answer ay more than one word like a sentence, ang gagawin niyo po, yung type of exam is add niyo po tayo. So text, long answer. So in here, hindi po siya magiging automatic scoring. Kailangan mabasa nyo muna yung kanilang sagot bago nyo siya bigyan ng score. Yan po. So hindi siya automatic checking. Unlike dun sa question number 1 and number 2, pag nagsagot po sila dyan, score na agad. So on their end, makita man nila o hindi yung score, say for example, yung settings nyo dito, nilagay nyo ay ganyan, show results automatically. Ang makikita nilang score, if it is over 50 pero 20 points to, ang makikita lang nila is yung over lang ng 30 dahil you need to open this question one by one. But madali po yan kung ito ay nilagay nyo sa loob ng Microsoft Teams kasi when you open your class notebook, remember, yung mga names ng bata ay items sa left side. You just have to switch from one student to another.
And then, Miss Emel, if you, for example, set the test type as essay and then you grade the students, will the grade be automatically recorded to
Yes.
their file? Okay.
Yes, mag-upload na po, mag-update na yung grade niya. Like for example, 22 plus 20, automatic magiging 42 na yon.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Okay, so a while ago, I mentioned about the difference between uploading files in the folder class materials and just outside the files tab. Okay? So sometimes we want our students to have a quick view of the file and then we can allow them to edit it. But anyway, all the files you included in the class materials, they can download naman. No? They can still download it. Or they can sync, no? Pwede nilang i-download and then i-save nila sa kanilang OneDrive para every time na may update kayong gagawin, updated din yung file niyo. Okay. Now, the difference between the files inside the class materials na hindi na i-edit, dito na i-edit po yan. Okay, now, meron pong nagsabi sa atin na, ma'am, wala po kasi akong Microsoft Word dito sa computer ko. Expired na po yung aking version, yung license ko. Hindi ko po yan mababasa. So you can help your students by adding a tab in here and then you type Word. Actually, lilito naman po yan kahit yan, select natin si Word. And then, Teams will ask alin dito sa mga in-upload mong files ang gusto mong ma-view agad ng mga bata. Okay? For example, this one, the order of precedence. You can post it, the announcement, the tab. Pwede rin naman na i-unclick natin. Okay, upon saving, automatically you have here a word up and there you are. So mapabasa na po ng mga bata yung content even though they don't have a Microsoft Word. Or kahit na meron po sila, they don't need to navigate away from your Microsoft Teams and open a Word application in here. Right? So that's one good thing with Microsoft Teams. Also a PowerPoint, you can also do that. You can add another.
Miss Emel, sorry, may pahabol na tanong.
Yes, sure.
Oo. What if the student was not able to take the exam on the scheduled date? Can the student open the file again? So siguro baka gusto rin niyang malaman kung pwede ba siyang magbigay ng individual kasi kunyari special test kasi nga hindi nakatake yung bata.
Yes, very good question. So since nagtapos na yung exam at we don't want other classmates nila na magbigay ng feedback, gagawa ka na lang ng special quiz para sa kanya. You don't need to really create a blank new one. Kung meron kang existing and you want to edit it, pero ayaw mong ma-overwrite of course yung una, you can just duplicate it. Kunwari, ito yung quiz 1, so just click this and then copy. Yan, so may quiz 2. Pag inopen mo po yan, you can rename it. Okay, doon na lang natin i-rename sa Microsoft Teams. Now, you can change question, you can change the option, say this is the correct answer. Pwede kang mag-change ng question dito, but at least you have the template ng quiz 1. Ayaw mo naman syempre na ibang-iba yung quiz naman niya dun sa the rest of the students. So you can modify this. And then after that, inside your Microsoft Teams, let me go back to assignment. Merong isang batang hindi nakapag-take ng assignment, di ba? So there are two ways. Yung isa using class notebook, yung dinemo po kanina na individual distribution. Yung isa, dito pa rin. So create, quiz. Tapos hanapin natin yung minodify natin, quiz 2. And then next. Here. Yan. Hanapin nyo na lang po dito yung specific student na gusto mong mag-exam. Kunyari si Enrico. Ayan. Saka si Terry. Okay? So, silang dalawa lang po ang makakakuha ng exam. Not all students. These students in algebra class. Parang ganun po. In algebra class. So, ang makaka-receive ng notification, these 2 students. And then, of course, ibigay mo na yung specific date kung kailan mag-a-appear sa screen nila. Say, for example, you tell them, oh, be ready ha, sa September 29 at around 8 a.m. mag-quiz kayo. And make sure na matapos nyo yan hanggang 9 a.m. 9:30. Tapos click nyo na yan. Kasi syempre second chance na nila to. So right after 9:30, hindi na sila makakapag-exam. And this will only be available on September 29. Okay, you can always give it immediately, no, without checking this.
Or
Right?
another option daw ba, Miss Emel, is can you just shuffle the questions so that it will look like a new one?
Yes. Yes. Opo, you can do that dito po sa settings. Sensya na po kung hindi ko siya na bibigay lahat. So, salamat po sa mga ganyan types of questions. Pwede niyo pong gawin dito yan. Shuffle questions. But there are some questions like essay na ayaw mo na ma-shuffle, di po ba? So, gagawin niyo po, meron kayong mga ilalak. Kunyari, tulad nito, mag-add ako dito, tapos essay pala siya. Essay type. Ano ba yung naselect ko? Parang option. Add new text. Yan. Kunwari po, essay type to, no? Tapos long answer. Ayaw mo siyang masama sa shuffle. So, dito po sa settings, pwede nyo ilock. And then, sabihin nyo lang yung question number 5. Yan. So, the rest, naka-shuffle po. Naka-shuffle ang lahat except yung page, yung question number 5. Right? So again, using Microsoft Forms, if you are using your Office 365, you don't need to include the question for their names, yung first name and second name. Kasi since nakalagin sila sa Office 365, automatic collect na po yun. Kaya tignan nyo po yung ma-export ninyo. Nandiyan ang first name, last name, and their scores. Okay? And of course, their username account. Ayan. So, I guess I'm done with the skills demonstration of the topics covered by session 2. Ms. Camille, kung meron pa tayong question, I think naagamit ko na yung time.
Okay, so if you have other questions about how you can maximize the use of Teams during your online classes, or do you have specific need, you may ask them now while Miss Emel is still here, and she's very much capable of answering those inquiries.
Okay? Kung wala ka ng question dyan?
Meron actually isa.
Yes.
Can a subject coordinator access the exam so that he or she can edit it right away if there are errors? Siguro kasi, di ba, Miss Emel, normally when we create an exam, we submit it to our supervisor before it's actually given, especially for departmental exams, before it's actually given to the students, di ba? So is there a way for
Yes.
you to share it, that specific exam or quiz that you're giving?
Okay, there are 2 ways. So Microsoft Form, before you assign this to your students, you can share it to your principal or to your head. No? You just have to copy the link, and then give it to your head. No? That's one way. Another way is inside the Microsoft Teams. So in Algebra, by clicking ellipsis and manage team, I'll be adding the name of the principal. For example, the name of the principal is, wait, I have a copy of Arden. So Arden is my head. Okay. Capacity, ang kanyang status is as a teacher pero head ko siya. So kapag in-add ko siya dito sa Teams, one member already exists. Nandiyan na pala siya. Okay, so nandiyan na pala siya. So you see here, ayan po. Owners are Cara, the system administrator, and Arden. So let us say that Arden is my principal. I am Kara. So Sir Arden can always see the content of my topics inside the class notebook. He can also see my assignments, and actually he can edit it. So all teachers can edit, can view, and can edit the contents of my class notebook and assignment. And I'll be notified. As a teacher, I'll be notified na my principal edited the content. Kasi lilitaw po yung author name. Parang dito po. Ayan, nakalagay dyan. Oh, modified by. Okay? So that's two way. You give the link of your exam or you include your heads, your principal in your class teams. That's the reason why my example of creating a class name includes my surname so that I know the principal or the head will know kung nasaan ba yung aking teams. Kasi at the end of the principal, dadami yung teams niya if he or she is included in every teams of your classes.
Okay. Well, may tanong pa po ba galing sa ating mga educators?
Ayan po, ayan po. These are the
Okay.
files that the teachers can only see. Di po ba? So it was modified by Kara. Now, if Arden add a file, say Microsoft Word, and modify the content, lilito po dito yan that it was modified by my head.
All right. Okay. So, mukha namang natanong na nila, Miss Emel. May we request our educators to turn on their videos for a quick photo op? Parang normal seminar po natin, may mga picture taking tayo at the end of the seminar. So, we can also try our large gallery. Pa-unshare muna tayo, Miss Emel.
Hello,
Okay,
ma'am.
sure.
Good afternoon po.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Hi, yes,
aside
sir.
po ng ano, ma'am.
Apa.
Ma'am, pwede po kami mag-create ng section, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Like for example, ma'am, we have eight sections every year level, ma'am. Then later on, ma'am, sa bawat teacher, i-access na lang nila yung section na yun para dun sa kanilang team.
Okay, sir, thank you for that question. Best practice is one section, one subject. So, kung ganito po yung gusto niyo, for example, nakalagay dito, STEM 12. Tapos, ang section nila is like A, B, C. Remember that in Microsoft Teams, the access to class notebook, assignments, and grades are only in the general channel. So, if you will create more than one section in here, and paano po i-access ni Filipino teacher
Apo.
yung sa 12A? Paano i-access ni Filipino teacher yung sa 12B? So, mahihirapan po, lalo na yung mga teacher. So, best practice, say for example, Filipino of the STEM 12A, one class team. If I am a teacher and I have like 4 subjects, I have 4 teams. Regardless if subject 1 and subject 2 belongs to the same class, I will create 2 class teams still so that I can separate the class notebook and the assignments as well as the grades. Kasi pag dinownload nyo po yung grades, magsasama-sama po lahat yan. Quiz ni Filipino, quiz ni English, quiz ni Section A, at ni Section B. Okay? You're welcome po.
Okay. Ayan. Pictorial na muna tayo, Miss Emel, bago natin
Yes.
ipakita yung code natin. Sige
Apo.
po, paki-turn on po ng ating mga videos ngayon lang po para po makita natin ang ating mga kasama ngayong umaga. Ayan. So, paki-yes lang po sa ating chat box para lang malaman namin if you are willing to give us consent to post your photo on Facebook. Miss Anna, move back po tayo ng konti, Anna Marie, para po makita ang ating magandang mukha. Ayan. Pakibukas po ng mga cameras natin. Alright. So right now, I am in a large gallery, but since we are only 9, hindi po nag-take effect yung large gallery natin kasi po mag-automatic. Ayan. Okay. Miss Rayjan and Sir Edward, pwede ba mag-on tayo ng video for just for a short time?
May technical problem yata ako, ma'am, sa camera.
Ay,
You
ganun
know?
ba? O, sige. Okay. Sir Jano, balik po tayo. Picture na po tayo, Sir Jano. Okay? Ready? O, tingin po tayo sa camera and smile. One, two, three. One more. Tingin sa camera. One, two, three. Okay. I will share it on our uh chat, and then also let's try the together mode para makita din natin. Okay, one more. Tingin po tayo sa